Music moves in mysterious ways. Sounds cross borders, travel oceans, and create strange coincidences. But what happens when those connections involve the occult, psychedelia, and the birth of heavy metal? Today, we uncover a riddle that links three unexpected worlds: Vanusa, Coven, and Black Sabbath. Is it just coincidence, or is there something darker behind this story? Vanusa, psychedelia, mystery, and a familiar riff. When people think of Vanusa, they often remember her as part of Brazil's Jovem Guarda movement, but that image is misleading. In the 1970s, Vanusa completely reinvented herself. Her 1973 album featured What to Do, a haunting song filled with psychedelic intensity and deep melancholy. But here's the twist. The main riff of What to Do sounds eerily similar to Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, released by Black Sabbath that same year. And the lyrics? Both songs explore themes of angst and confusion. Vanusa, don't you feel that it's hard facing life with no fear? Black Sabbath, where can you run to? What more can you do? Coincidence? Inspiration? Or just a strange case of musical synchronicity? One thing is certain, Vanusa was ahead of her time. In 1974, she released an album that fused progressive, rock, jazz, and soul, a record that could stand alongside Gal Costa and Jard's Macaulay, yet it was largely overlooked. But her connection to the occult and heavy music doesn't end there. Coven rock's darkest secret. Now let's travel back to 1969. While the world was embracing flower power, one band emerged from the shadows to challenge everything: Coven. Their debut album, Witchcraft Destroys Minds and Reaps Souls, introduced something unheard of in rock, satanic lyrics, ritualistic themes, and occult imagery. And here's the eerie part. The album contained a track called Black Sabbath. This was before the British band even chose that name. Jinx Dawson, Coven's enigmatic lead singer, had a theatrical voice reminiscent of Grace Slick, yet it carried a dark, ritualistic weight, similar to what we hear in Vanusa's What to Do. And that's not all. Coven also pioneered something that would become a defining symbol of metal: the devil horns hand gesture. Jinx was among the first to popularize it, long before Ronnie James Dio and, ironically, Black Sabbath. But why didn't Coven become massive? Their album was blacklisted and banned. The music industry considered their satanic imagery too dangerous for mainstream audiences. The world wasn't ready. But what if their influence still managed to spread all the way to England? Black Sabbath, the birth of metal, and the unexplained influences. Black Sabbath wasn't always the dark, heavy band we know today. At first, they were called Earth and played blues rock. Everything changed when Tony Iommi had a revelation. What if we made a song that felt like a horror movie? The result was Black Sabbath, the haunting track that opened their debut album in 1970. But wait, Coven had already released Black Sabbath 1 year earlier. The similarities are impossible to ignore. Both songs use the tritone, the so-called devil's chord. Both explore occult themes. Both helped define the dark aesthetic of metal. Was it just coincidence? Or did Black Sabbath unconsciously absorb Coven's influence? And then, in 1973, Black Sabbath released Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, with a riff that sounds strikingly similar to Vanusa's What to Do. Coincidence or something deeper? Maybe Black Sabbath unknowingly took inspiration from Coven. Maybe Vanusa and her composers captured the same universal energy that Sabbath would later translate into metal. Or maybe music has a strange way of traveling through time and space, without its creators even realizing it. Whatever the truth may be, the dark connection between Vanusa Coven and Black Sabbath remains one of rock's greatest mysteries. And now, we ask you, do you believe in coincidences? Or is there something more hidden beneath the surface? Let us know in the comments.